It was the year 480 before Christ, more than 2,000 years ago. The great King Xerxes of Persia was marching west with one of the largest armies the world had ever seen. His empire stretched from India to Egypt, and now he wanted to conquer Greece. But Greece was not one country back then. It was a collection of small city-states like Athens, Sparta and Thebes, each proud, each independent and often fighting among themselves. Yet when the Persian threat arrived, some of them decided to unite. The Persians had hundreds of thousands of soldiers, while the Greeks could gather only a few thousand. They knew they could not win an open battle. So the Greek leaders searched for a place where a small army could stop a large one. They found a narrow mountain pass called Thermopylae, which means the hot gates. This place was perfect for defense. On one side was a steep mountain, and on the other side was the sea. Only a few men could pass through at a time. If the Greeks could hold this pass, they could delay the Persians. Leading the Greek defense was King Leonidas of Sparta, a brave and respected warrior. He brought with him 300 of his best Spartan soldiers, all chosen because they already had sons, men who would carry on their names if they died. Along with them came around 7,000 other Greeks from nearby cities. When Xerxes reached the pass and saw such a small army standing in his way, he sent a messenger. The messenger said, "Lay down your weapons." Leonidas replied simply, "Come and take them." The first day of battle began. Wave after wave of Persian soldiers attacked, but the Greeks held the narrow pass. Their long spears and heavy shields created an unbreakable wall. The Persians fell by the thousands, their great numbers useless in the tight space. On the second day, Xerxes grew angry. He sent in his best warriors, the Immortals, a special unit of elite fighters. But even they could not break the Greek line. The narrow path forced them to fight one by one. And again the Greeks held strong. Then on the night after the second day, tragedy struck. A Greek man named Ephialtes betrayed his own people. He went to the Persians and told them about a secret mountain path that led around the Greek defenses. At dawn, Leonidas learned that the Persians were coming from behind. He knew the battle was lost, but instead of running, he made a choice that would echo through history. He told most of the Greek army to leave and save themselves. He and his 300 Spartans, along with about 700 men from the city of Thespia, who refused to leave, stayed to fight until the end. As the sun rose on the third day, the Persians attacked from both sides. The Spartans fought with everything they had, first with spears, then with swords. And when their weapons broke, with their hands and teeth, they stood together on a small hill called Colonos Hill. Surrounded by the enemy, arrow after arrow filled the sky, and the Greeks fell where they stood. King Leonidas fought until his last breath. When it was over, every Spartan was dead. But their sacrifice was not in vain. The Persians did pass through Thermopylae, but the courage of those 300 men inspired all of Greece. Just weeks later, the Greeks united and defeated the Persian navy at the Battle of Salamis and later at Plataea, finally ending the invasion. Thermopylae became more than a battle. It became a symbol. It showed the world that bravery, discipline, and unity can stand against even the greatest power. Today, more than 2,000 years later, people still visit the place where it happened. A simple stone stands there, with words that were written long ago. Open quote, "Go tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, that here, obedient to their laws we lie." Close quote. And so as we end this story, let's raise a glass not just to the Spartans, but to all who stand firm when the odds are against them. Here's to courage, here's to loyalty.